A group of local advocates for equal justice are urging town leaders to take prompt, tangible actions. Their approach? By submitting a citizens' petition to include a warrant article at the October 4th special town meeting. Municipal producer Yu Xiaowen talked to the initiators to find out more.
The petition calls for a new citizens committee to, quote, conduct a review of the effects of systemic racism in Needham and provide it to the next town meeting, which means the 2021 annual town meeting, specific warrant articles aimed at town improvement.
That sends a message to our town leadership that, hey, your number one priority until the spring town meeting is to be doing this research and to be coming up with these concrete, tangible changes that our town can make.
This petition is really saying this is kind of the clock starts ticking. We want to see those tangible things being brought. So let's kind of pick up the pace, let's pick up the energy.
The tangible changes, according to the petition, include reviewing racism experienced by people in town and racial profiling in public spaces, discussing the town committee chairs about the role of the racism within their areas, expanding the Equal Justice Placard program, a discrimination report system through all the town buildings, reviewing police oversight and accountability and alternative police policies, and re-evaluating housing and zoning policies.
As a town, we can ask ourselves the hard questions about where there's opportunities to be better here, and not just questions like diversity in hiring, which is important, but even the harder questions like the police use of force. How do we modernize that? Or looking at things like housing. I think those are really challenging, hard questions, but this is the time where, we can do that.
Noah Mertz, a 2013 Needham High School graduate, and Rebecca Weber, a mother of two working in healthcare innovation, are both members of the newly founded advocacy group Equal Justice in Needham, which was formed amid national protesting against George Floyd's killing. Its first campaign, This Happens Here, is about raising awareness of the existence of systemic racism in Needham.
And that's just to raise awareness in this town, which likes to think of itself as very progressive, and there are people who mean well and who want to be a welcoming, inclusive space for everybody, where anyone can feel safe and welcome in our town. And it's just a matter of examining whether or not we actually live up to that self-conception, and if we actually embody that in reality.
Here in Needham, Marvin Henry accused local police officer of racial profiling and unlawfully searching him because he's a black man.
There's still a police report out there that has his name in it incorrectly many times, and so he's still kind of hanging out there for an official exoneration and for the record to be corrected, to be accurate.
To Mertz, it sounded the alarm.
And this is a known thing among people of color in town. There are certain stores that you have to be careful at, and that's not okay.
On July 21st, the town kicked off its own Needham Unite Against Racism initiative and held the first listening session. At the select board meeting on August 18th, town manager Kate Fitzpatrick reported on the next actions, which include adopting a goal to diversify the candidate pool for elected positions and forming a working group. But the equal justice advocates across the community want the town to be more progressive.
Racism shows up in our town not just explicitly through hateful speech, and not just as a matter of the demographic composition of your town bodies, but actually the way that it exists systemically, not even necessarily about the specific people in those systems, but the systems themselves. Meanwhile, in Brookline, they have already put together 2 task forces, one on police reform and one on reimagining public safety. And there are other towns in Massachusetts, like Amherst, that has committed $80,000 to investigating this work. They're actually putting money toward this issue.
On Tuesday, September 1st, another member of Equal Justice in Needham, John Kirk, placed the petition on his front porch for residents to sign. A total of 100 signatures from registered voters are required. By Tuesday, the petition already collected over 200 signatures.
The enormous interest that we got so quickly really shows that this issue is still front and center on the minds of citizens in Needham.
After the submission of the petition, the group will need to wait for the town clerk to verify the signatures before knowing its qualification for the October town meeting. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Yu Xiaoyuan.